Hi, hello. For those who don't know me, my name is Dominic Jones, and I work in Tandai, a 2-year junior college in Sendai. My students are at the they have a long way to go, so perhaps they're at the lower level of students. What I'm trying to do in reading. What can I tell you about it? In our curriculum, all our students have compulsory English class, which is either 2 semesters or 1 semester, depending on the one of the 3 departments I work in. And the reading becomes a component of the class, a little bit like in Corey's situation. Where I do it a little bit differently, I put the onus, I put the graded reading as their homework assignment. So every lesson they have to go to the library. We have a library on our campus, and they take a graded reader. For those not aware of what graded readers look like, they're kind of like these kind of things. Yeah? There's Oxford Reading Tree, there's Pearson Easy Starts, there's lots of all the big companies here, as well as some smaller companies. Graded reading came about from talking to people like Ben and Stephen Krashen. He wrote a book a few years ago called The Power of Reading, which is very good. And also some of the other teachers I work with, and they recommend that reading is the most important thing that a student can do. It's something they can take away and use it as a lifelong reading skill. And my goal of my course to jump around is the same size. If I can get my students to enjoy reading, and start reading more, then that is exactly what I want to do. Most of my students have never read a book in English, other than the shorter passages within the textbook. So I decided to get some books into our library, and we've now got about 1,000 books of various levels. To keep it easy, I've used the bigger publishers and just ordered their library sets, which was very easy to do. Either via Marazen, where our school deals directly, and then some of the smaller kind of publishers in Japan and bookshops in Japan, they've been very, very helpful as well in doing that. How do I use the reading? As I said, it's homework. My students, on a good day, answer the question, how are you with, I'm fine. Okay, some of them do I'm fine, thank you, and you, but it's quite low level. So one of the challenges was, how do I get some feedback? How do I know? How do I track what books they're doing? How do I get their impressions and that? And then the system I came up with was I get them to write a book report. I might even have a couple of things. Anyway, so they write there we go. This is what they write. This is just a few examples. As you can see, they're written in Japanese and they're not written in English. Some of them got nice pictures. Some of them are on the computers. Some of them are very, very short. In fact, some are even shorter than this. It's pretty short. All I require them to do is write the name of the book in English, which some of them did and some of them didn't, and put their name and then their impressions about the book. Sometimes that was misinterpreted and they actually translated the whole book. Just like, wow! This is why they didn't have my homework to start with. But the reason I put it in Japanese, and I keep all of these, I wanted to reduce the burden of writing book reports, but I wanted something measurable so I know if they're doing the work or not. And it's very easy for me to do because I can just collect them at the beginning of the class and tick off, a checkbox, and then I know how many books they've read. Would it be considered 300,000 words of extensive reading? No. So, but I see this as really a step into extensive reading, and as I said, my goal is to introduce them to the library. It's very important to get the librarian involved. I've got a graph which you can't see, but it looks good. But basically, the attendees into the library has quadrupled, tripled or quadrupled after bringing in this program. My own department never went into the library. Basically, they have a library drawer at the beginning of the semester, and this is 120 students, and after that they according to the librarian and her statistics, it basically never came in. So now they're now forced to go in every week. So the numbers of people using the library has skyrocketed in my department and the other departments as well. So that the librarian is very happy, administration is very happy. I was in the library, which would be the library kind of monthly committee. So as I was a member of that, I was able to kind of like, you know, have my input into where we could put our budgets, and it would be immediately get right to the source of where the decisions would be made. And then after that, the librarian was very keen on getting the books in, not so keen on having to label them all. You know. But that was good. Ordering books, we're trying to use, we have a library budget, which is fairly extensive, and we're trying to use that and get some books in. One of our biggest problems is space. Our library is very, very, very small. So it's only about 3 times bigger than this room. And so to get we've got 1,000 books in now, which would sit in a nice kind of freestanding stand. But in an ideal world, you would have them kind of like a magazine rack, and it would be a lot more easy. But it's still there. The levels. These are the kind of levels you're looking at. These are the most popular books which are taken out. So there's not really many. To get to 1 million words, you'd have to read quite a few of these. But they're great books. They are great stories, indeed. But, you know, we have some higher level books. You know, with lots of words and no pictures. These are never taken out. So you know, if you're deciding, thinking what levels to go at, then start easy. Nothing breeds confidence like success. So you get them on these early starts, at the lowest levels, and then they get that. Oh yeah, I can do this. Future of ER in my institution. I'd like to have an actual subject, a reading subject. But as we've only got one class on the curriculum, my administration, my president, my university, he really wants to stress AKI, English communication, and so I'm wary about how much reading time I can bring into the classes. But at the same time, I think it's a very important thing to be happening. Anything else that I can talk to you about? Oh yeah, we have my librarian came up with the top 100 or top of all the books taken out in the library, and you won't be able to see, but basically in the top 30, then except for about 5, pretty much all of them are English ones. Our most popular book is, it's actually number 4, is Part 2, The Stolen Crown. Part 1, The Stolen Crown, doesn't actually make the top 20, so I'm not quite sure. One
of the racing bits must be in Part 2.
Stage 1 of Aladdin's Magic Lamp is there, but stage 2 isn't. But so it's a bit random, and I think there's a lot of my students who are just kind of writing something down to get in there. I think reading is very important. Speaking to your librarian is, especially in my case, was the way forward. It doesn't take a lot of money to buy these books. Often they're on reductions. So I really recommend extensive reading for low-level students. And that's really all I've got to say. Thank you very much.